What's up, Nitro Nation? Muggy Maniac is in the cave rocking to some Disturbed. Are you down with the sickness? Are you as sick in the head about 8-scale Nitro as a Muggy? I don't know. I'm pretty sick. I'm pretty twisted. I even had Mr. Mr. Bodegel tell me one time, man, you got me beat, bro. You're a sick Nitro head. And I know he's pretty sick. He's more sick 5th scale now, but he's still a pretty sick Nitro, sick in the head Nitro guy. He loves his motors, loves his pipes, man. Those are his thing. Motors and pipes, man. He's got plenty of them. But anyway, welcome all newbies, middies, oldie but goodies. Welcome all truggy maniacs. Welcome all buggy maniacs. Welcome all monster truck maniacs. I don't have a monster truck, but I guess this is about as close as you get. This is more like a truggy on steroids. You know, the XTM Mammoth ST with the BAM MM modded, scream its balls off LRP .32 with, ain't no scrub carb on there, people. That's the Novorossi carburetor. And that is the only way, if you want your .32 to purr like a kitty, run like a watch, and scream like a lion, then you gotta have the Novorossi carburetor on there. Otherwise, good luck. That's all I gotta say. So anyway, let's get some couple shout outs out of the way. I want to give a shout out to 2 guys in particular. Shout out first of all to all the new subscribers, all the newbies. Even if you guys are scrubs, you got your RTRs, and that's okay. RTRs aren't bad. Okay, you know, and I don't know why people take offense to the scrub when I call people scrubs. If you know what the word means, then and the shoe fits, wear it. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. A scrub, look up the definition. Do some homework, people. I always tell you guys, do your homework. I know some of these, actually 2 of these guys I'm going to give out shout-outs to right now, they do their homework. They study. One guy in particular, and he's all the way over in South Africa, and he knows more about me than I do. He could tell me when I got all my shit. He told me, hey, Muggy, yeah, by the way, you did get your Mugen and your Techno were a week apart. I didn't even know that. I mean, I did, but, you know, I mean, if you were to ask me, I would probably be like, I'd have to, you know, do some research. This kid knew, man. Or, you know, this gentleman, I don't know if he's a kid. I don't think he's a kid. The other guy is somebody not, I don't know if he's my age, I don't know exactly his age, but he's more like me. He's been around, been around the block, been out of Nitro for a long time, and he's kind of coming in where I did. I was away from Nitro for a while, even though I've been in and out of RC, E-Word and Nitro for over 35 years. I mean, he was mentioning some stuff, man, I haven't thought of that in a long time. I used to have a Sand Scorcher by Tamiya. Those came out like in the early 80s. Or 80, was it 85, 80, 89? Something, I can't remember the exact date. But anyway, I mean, Grasshopper, Lunchbox, Tamiya, I mean, I had those things. My first, I don't know if you want to call it serious, but my first serious 10th scale vehicle, which was an E-Word, was a Traxxas Bandit. I had a Sledgehammer. I had a Bandit. What other Traxxas did I have? And, I don't know if I had the Hawk. Anyway, I had a few of them. And that's when Traxxas was first starting out. They were brand new. And they were actually pretty decent. Compared to there wasn't a lot of RTRs out at that time. Even the Tamiya ones you had to build. But anyway, that was E-Word. I mean, I got later into building my own batteries. I raced 10 scale for a long time. Even though I was getting my ass kicked by Losi and frickin' Koyoshos, and my friend across the street had an Ultima, my other buddy had an Optima, and they were spanking my ass because my Traxxas couldn't compete with Koyosha, even though there were E-Words. I did a little bit of Nitro, but it was when the RC10 GTs came out back then. I mean, those are old school, they're still around. Nothing like this. Obviously, the technology and everything's changed, but this guy was mentioning this stuff, and I was just like, man, it was bringing me back. Back to when I started. I'm no spring chicken, as you guys know. And I've been around the game. I know, personally, and this is when he started, Richard Royal. Those of you that don't know who Richard Royal is, he's the owner and founder of RPMs. Now, most of you guys, even if you're not into Nitro, into E-Word, most of you guys know RPM makes probably some of the best, if not the best, aftermarket plastics out there. Everybody knows about RPM. Where I lived at the time, he's only about, he's probably about an hour from where I am now, but I lived even closer back then. I used to go to his little shop, and he would make me special parts for my Traxxas, because the parts were, they weren't, I wanted stuff that they didn't have yet, and I wanted to replace the stuff to make it more durable. And Richard would make me these parts, And now, and this was back when he was really barely getting into the industry. Now the guy's, he's an icon. He's been around forever. He still even made it through when a lot of these companies went out of business. Novak's not around anymore. Tekin, Reedy Motors, all the E-Word stuff. I used to build my own batteries, solder my own. I used to do all that shit. Okay? So I'm no newbie. Even though that was E-Word. Then I, went in and out of, Nitro. I've been in and out of Nitro probably a good 10 years. But I didn't get serious, like sick in the head serious Nitro until 5 years ago. And I was watching some videos, and that's when I seen Mr. Za. And then everything changed. I'm like, man, I like the way this guy is, it still didn't make me want to go out and get a Losi, I thought about it, yes. And that's when I first got this thing. It's an RTR. It's a scrub, and it's not an RTR now. I mean, this thing has got pretty much every upgrade available. There's nothing stock about this. I mean, there's a few things that are still stock, but I put a lot of money into this thing. A lot of money. And it's probably one reason I'll never sell it. It's just personal, because this is one of a kind. There isn't another XTM Mammoth ST like this one. This is a badass. And it's had a lot of modified motors and had its battles. It's went toe-to-toe with the only motor that it hasn't went toe-to-toe with yet is the Pico. I don't know if the Pico will probably slap it around a little bit, but the XTM can hold its own. It's a truggy on steroids. So anyway, this guy that I'm going to give a shout out to, there's two guys. One of them, like I said, he's in South Africa. Shout out to Mr. Daniel Fritz. This guy does his homework. He asks questions. I did that cleaning video specifically for him because he asked me. Ask and you shall receive. A closed mouth doesn't get fed. You heard that expression before? I got tons of them. You can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. I need to do the Muggy Maniacs famous quotes. I mean, they're not ones that I made up. I just stole them from other people. But they're ones that I was told over time. If you put in 99%, if you put in 99%, you're not going to get 100% result. People think that in Nitro or anything, but in Nitro Special, that they're going to put in their 50% half-ass effort and they're going to expect 100% results. That shit ain't never happening. Okay? If you always do what you always done, you'll always get what you've always got. It's that simple. Okay? I didn't make up these quotes. They're just things that stuck in my head from people that I grew up and people that mentored me. You know? Think of the end result of what you do before you say or before you do it. People don't do that. We're so quick to just vomit out of our mouth, and I should know. I've done that more than anybody that I know. I mean, you know. And you don't think of what you just said until after you said it. You're like, oh shit, why did I even say that? That was pretty stupid of me. You know what I'm saying? Or you do something and you don't think of the end result of it, and then all of a sudden, oh shit, why did I do that? What an idiot. It's too late now, right? I mean, you learn. You live and learn. This is you know, me and Elite RC talk all the time. Which is pretty cool, man. I feel very honored, you know, and I much respect that Elite takes time out to call me, you know. This guy's heavily busy in fifth scale. Big time. Him and John. And now John gave me his direct line. So I have a direct line with Mr. Zah, so I get to talk to him all the time. You know, I can call him anytime I want. You know, he also hooked me up with his online, or not online, but it's a chat site that he's connected to where he talks to all these people around the world. Okay? He invited me to that, so now I'm on that site too. So I get a direct line, and I get to go in direct contact and have direct contact with, you know, one of my mentors, which is really cool, man. I love that. You know, shout out to John for allowing me. And I already feel privileged that he offered me the first dibs on buying the Muggy. He wants me to have it. Yet we haven't ironed out the, you know, the details and all that stuff. That'll be coming up soon. You know, and I'll keep you guys posted, you know. But it's still a negotiation. I don't know exactly what he's offering, how much he wants, and all that stuff. I'm not going to share of what I pay for it or any of the financing part about it, because I think that's personal between me and him. You know, but I will share if I'm getting it or not. And, you know, I don't know what kind of conditions he has on it. I don't know if he thinks that I'm going to take that and just put it in the shelf and never run it. I'll keep everything original on it, but it will be a time when if I do decide to buy it, that it'll have Badlands on it. It'll have DE racer rims on it, and it'll have a modified motor in it, definitely, and a sick pipe. Okay? And I'll change the diff fluids and all that. It's not going to stay bone stock. Okay? I'm not going to change it like that and keep it like that, and then when I shelf it or whatever, I just don't know, because I don't know if I could keep something like that nostalgic and not run it periodically. So I don't know if he thinks that I'm just going to keep it, hold on to it, and just collect it because it's worth money. I really don't care about that. None of my shit will ever be shelf cleans. I don't plan on, if I have, when it gets to the point to where I'm no longer running certain shit or I shelf clean it, then it's time for me to move on and get rid of it or to get something else. That's why I'm only getting 2 or 3 more vehicles, and then that's it. And I want to be able to have these vehicles and run them all the time as much as I want. Okay? The only thing that'll ever retire in this cave will be motors. You know, the only motor that I have retired so far is this OFNA Hyper 21. Badass motor. Didn't come with originally with a sealed back on it, but I did put one on there. Had some turbo bullshit on there, pull start. This thing is nasty. This is a nasty little .21. This was my first decent motor before I got my stock Rex Legend, Novorosi. And this is what I ran in the Mugen for a long time. And this thing is a little, I'll fire this thing up right now. This thing's a badass. I have another one of these too. I have 2 of them that needs the insides. It doesn't have the piston, sleeve, and the rod. It needs a few things, carburetor. I might get the parts for this, even though they might be a little pricey. Put it together, send it to Rick, and get it modded, and maybe break it in, run it a couple times, and just have it as a conversational piece. Because they don't make these Hyper 21 motors anymore. These are badass little .21 motors, by the way. You know, but as far as that's the only thing I'm going to retire, and I'll only retire other motors, once you get about 8 to 10 gallons, then it's kind of time to hang them up. I'm not the guy that's going to put a new sleeve in it, put a new crank in it, get it repinched. Excuse my language, fuck all that. When these things get around 10 gallons, or when I feel they're losing their compression, then I take them, put some Muggy juice in it, piston bottom dent center, and set it up in my collection, and move on to the next motor. But as far as whips, first of all, I don't have the room, and I'm not going to take any of my whips, no matter how much old school they are, including that Muggy, and just put it up on a shelf for display. That thing will be run, if I do purchase it, will be run periodically. And I'm sure you guys want to see it run. You know? Maybe put a little bit of flavor on it. I'm not going to just keep it as a fucking, excuse my language, conversational piece. If that's the case, and maybe if that's what John wants me to do, and not run it and just keep everything original, then he might want to sell it to somebody else, because I won't be interested. That's just me, okay? Let somebody else shelf it and use it as a, you know, conversational piece. So anyway, shout out to Mr. Daniel Fritz. Guy is doing, you know, asking questions, taking notes, true student. The other guy, shout out to Mr. Fitscale RC. This guy has a pretty good setup. He's got 4 nice fit scales, and he's got 2 next level truggy and buggies that he's going to start out with. And that's how, I mean, if you're somebody that you're not completely new to this, and you're somebody that's been around a little bit, don't mess around with the RTRs. If you're still somebody that wants to gain the experience and get more comfortable with bump boxes and seal back, then by all means, I think you should run RTRs, a Losi or a Kyosho. Don't even worry about Mugens and Technos and X-Rays and 4.0s and you know, next level kits or motors. Modded, you're way away from modded. You don't even talk about modded. Let's just talk about getting you more comfortable with seal back motors, bump box, and quality seal back motors. Not just any back motor, seal back motor. Okay, then we'll talk about, you know, and this is just the way I that I learned. Now you do what you want. Remember, don't do what just because I'm son. This is my advice. That's all. You do whatever you want, and I always tell you guys that. Don't listen to the Muggy. Do what you want, okay? All I'm saying is if you're going to start out and you're not familiar because you've been running monster trucks and roto starts and pull starts and, you know, newbie shit, well, stick with the RTRs, but run an RTR that you can run a sealed back motor and a bump box on it and gain the experience. Then, once you get all that experience in that, go to a next level platform. Then, go to a next level, you know, motor or modded motor. I didn't get into mod motors for almost 2 years, and John was trying to get me into mod motors right off the bat. As soon as he found out that I was looking for a new motor, and I was going to get an Oberasi 28.8 Rex Legend, he was trying to get me to get it modded. I wasn't ready. It took me over 2 years before I even touched my first modded motor, which are the Rex 28.8 Rex Legend, Nova, the Pico, and the Reds R5 Team Edition. All modded by, these are my first 3 modded motors. And if you guys look back at my videos, I haven't had them that long. Now, I'm getting into another level where I'm modding my own motors. This one's modded. Mild, but it's modded by me. The LRP Spec 4.32 that you guys seen screaming its balls off. This is a nasty little thing. And I modded it, you know. The only other thing I can do to this to make it, you know, even a little bit more, you know, get a little bit more performance out of it is, you know, and I'm thinking about it, is learning how to do crank fills. Fill the crank on that thing. The Reds, you don't need to fill the crank. That's the cool thing about them, because they already come with crank fills. And I think the Novarasis you can. Maybe I might do a crank fill on my Novo, although I think this modern one already has one, but maybe on a stock one. Rick filled this one. Okay, I don't know if the Pico does or not. I'll have to check. But anyway, that's something, another level that I'll learn. Okay, that I'm learning, and I'm going to learn more about. So anyway, you know, this guy, Fitscale, you know, RC has got an MBX 8 Mugen, sick-ass buggy. I mean, sick-ass truggy. Brand new, man. And that's the way to start right there. So he's got 2 next-level whips he's ready to start out with. So shout out to you. I don't know his name. Hopefully I'll get to know his name. He takes notes as well. He even tells me he always has his notebook out when he's watching my videos, which is cool. You know, he just shows that he's a student of the game and he wants to learn. You know, that's what it takes, man. Learning. I'm always, even when I'm wrenching, I'm watching videos of either Mr. Za or Adam Drake or Ryan Lutz or Mayfield or Mike Croddick or all these guys, you know, that I, you know, that I watch videos of because they help me learn too. So anyway, we got some goodies to unbox. Let's do some unboxing. So those are the 2 shout-outs. And, you know, shout out to my Nitro brother for life, Mr. Za, for, you know, inviting me to your site. giving me your number and, you know, exchanging digits so we can call each other. And, you know, now we're on direct line. I'm on direct line with Mr. Zaw, man. I feel really, really privileged and, you know, respect to that guy because he takes time out, you know, to... I'm a scrub when it comes to the whole thing, you know what I mean? I mean, not as far as my whips and stuff like that, but I haven't been doing this that long, you know what I'm saying? So, in that sense, you know, I guess I am a scrub. You know, when it comes, obviously, when it comes to making videos, I'm definitely a scrub. I don't even got a real damn camera yet, and we're working on that. So anyway, we're gonna decide what motor. I don't know. I still want to put some more fuel, maybe through the R5. I might just keep the R5 because I have two good reds. This one I can use for racing if I want to get back into racing, maybe later. Because once I mod it, then I can't. Keep that one for racing, and this is my modded. So I got two reds. 2.21s, 5 ports. This one is a better one, better quality, next level, and it's modded. And then I got that one, which is great, and it's stock, and I might just keep it. I don't get much out of it, but you know, but the stock motors aren't bad. It just doesn't do a lot for me. Actually, it's cool because when you run one of these, and you wrap it around and everything with it, and then the next time you run this thing with the modded .28. Oh hell yeah! Day and night, you definitely feel the difference. You're almost like, what the hell am I doing? It's like jumping on a 125 dirt bike and then jumping on a 500 or a CR or you know or a 250. You know, day and night. So anyway, we got the next level Badlands. These are the brand new ones. They've been curing now for like 3 days, so we're going to take the rubber bands off of here. We're going to run these soon. We've got everything set up. She's ready to rock and roll. If you guys can get these, I have the number if you need them. If you have a Mugen and you have a Techno, or I think Hot Bodies too, those are the only vehicles that I know of that you can fit a full motor saver. These are the best filters. They've been dynoed, increase the power, best damn filter you can ever have. Unfortunately for Losi guys, you can't run them because they don't fit. I know John wasn't too happy about that because you can't fit them underneath the Losi bodies, but I know on the Mugens for sure, and the Technos they fit. Hot Bodies I think they do, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I mean, I don't run any of my motors without motor saver and the outerwear. And for these guys that struggle with keeping your shit clean, these are the best because you don't have to clean them as much. Now these are the ones that you use on the Losi. That's just the outerwear, made in USA. Okay, this is one for the Mugen, but it's similar to the Losi one. You know, and you just run this. Even Mr. Zaw said, I was talking to him, and I seen one of his videos too, he doesn't even recommend you even breaking a motor without a motor saver, which I don't. I've never broken in any of my motors without a motor saver on it. He suggests, do not break in a motor without a motor saver. So if you've already done it, yeah, too late now. But for future reference, you guys that are getting 28.8s and modded and whatever, break them in with the motor saver or at least an outerwear on it. Mandatory. Okay, now you do what you want. To each his own, whatever. Just I highly suggest it. And I know Mr. Zaw does too. What else? Oh yeah, let's do this unboxing. I already opened it because I'm not good at the one-handed thing. And what we have here is a company called Force RC. I like to get all my things at once from one company if I can when I'm ordering stuff. That way I don't have to pay all these different shipping fees. A lot saves you money. So we have, oh snaps. If you're not running 2011 Byrons, I don't know what you're waiting for. You know, I suggest it. Highly recommend it. It's the best fuel there is. Not any question about that. Okay. So, run the Byrons. You know what's weird? This Byrons, I hope this stuff wasn't kept in the light. This stuff looks light. That's okay. Because I'm not used to the... Doesn't it look light to you? Usually Byrons doesn't look this light. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but it's weird because it looks light. But that's okay. And usually the reason it's light is because maybe this fuel's might have been sitting around at their company for a while. See, this is the old bottle. That bottle they don't make anymore. I'll show you what the new Byrons fuel looks like. This is the, where's it at? I have what the new bottle looks like. They changed the This is where I keep my fuel. They changed the label on it a little bit. Not much, but I don't know. It's just different now. It has like a different flag on it or something. Something weird. I don't know what the difference is, but I noticed that they changed a little bit. But anyway, keep your fuel in a dark, dingy area. You don't keep it in the light. I mix my fuel with Muggy juice. I put like 40 drops in there. Try to use these type of darker bottles. Just don't expose your shit to the light. Another thing we have is some paint. Oh yeah, we're going to do some bodies. Time for the Muggy to do some new bodies. We're going to do a new techno body. I don't know what I'm going to do on it yet. We're going to do another, well, we're going to do the body that I already have over there for the Muggy MBX7. And I'm going to do another body for the buggy. So I've got 3 bodies coming up. Now the biggest thing that I was waiting for is this, because I need a new one. Here you go. You want the part number? Here it is. Sky RC. I think it's like 20 something bucks. There's my old one. This thing lasted me 3 years. Look at that. The only part, it still works though, because this is the heater part. I just got to make some kind of material wrap, or I'll come up with something to take place of this, because it still works. The heating part still works. It's just this part's done. Let's see what the new one looks like. Let's open this sucker up. And if you don't heat your motors up, well, then you're gonna waste fuel, because you're gonna take you longer to tune your motor, because if you try to tune it when it's under 200, you're wasting your time. That's why I preheat my motors. It's easier on your bump box, it's easier on your rod, easier on your, oh yeah, brand new. Easier on your crank, your piston, your sleeve, just everything, man. Longevity on all that stuff will be a lot longer if you preheat your motor. Engine heater, there you go. Brand new. Smells fresh. So I needed this. Like I said, this one here works, but it's done. And I got 3 years out of it, man. That's why I got another one of these. Now you can get the ProTech, I think makes them. They're like 50 something bucks. So they're like 30 bucks more. The only reason I got that one is because it lasted a long time, and it was only like $22. Okay, so I think that's about it. We're going to end this video. That was just a quick update, what's going on. You know, in the RTR world, you know, just learn. Trial and error. Soak it in. There's no hurry to get to the next level. You know, sooner or later you'll get there. When you get there, you won't look back, because there's nothing, and I repeat, nothing like a quality race kit. Nothing. Okay? And there's nothing like modified motors. And the Badlands, well, whatever tires work for you, works for you, but those are what work for me. So anyway, we got the Muggy MBX7 on deck, ready to rock and roll, either today or tomorrow. It's been hot here, which is perfect weather. So we're going to get her dirty one more time, then we're going to go full teardown. We just did a semi teardown. So in the contest, I will be giving away these stands that you guys see my vehicles on. I make them. They fold up. I'm going to give away one of those. I'm also going to give away some of my motor stands. Those motor stands, I'm going to give away some of those. And I'm also going to make up a nice batch of the Muggy juice. And I'm going to give away those things. Put it in a box like this. Ship it to whoever wins. Now I'm going to do this contest. You guys have, whoever wants to compete in this, I'm going to give you a bunch of free shit. I might throw in some more goodies too. Maybe a tool set. I have a decent dynamite tool set. I have an extra one that I might give away. I'm not sure yet. But anyway, I'm going to give away some cool shit. So, and the contest is whoever has the sexiest next level whip. No scrub shit. RTR. I mean, not scrub RTR. Next level whip. I mean, obviously if you have a modified motor, you got all the upgrades. I mean, the standards are right here. You got to compete with my shit. I mean, I'm not in on the contest, but I'm just saying, this is what I'm looking at. I'm judging it, and this is the benchmark of how I'm going to judge these vehicles. Either you guys send me pictures, give me a link to where I can see the pictures, do a video, whatever. Cleanest, sickest, sexiest looking whip will win. Free truggy or buggy stand. And it could be a buggy too. No, let's just keep it truggy. Truggy, okay? I want to see some sick ass truggies, okay? Next level. No RTR shit. Now, if it isn't RTR, but it's got all the upgrades on it, you do qualify. But it can't just be no bone stock RTR scrub shit, okay? It's got to be sexy. It's got to have some serious upgrades, serious aftermarket, carbon fiber, aluminum. If you have a modded motor in there, you know, better chance you might have a winning. Sick paint job, no bullshit, beat up, you know, body. So that's my rule. So anyway, you're going to get the stand, you're going to get the motor stands, you're going to get some Muggy juice, and you're probably going to get a tool set. Who knows? I might throw in another pipe. I don't know. But anyway, going to get some cool shit. So that's the contest. That's the rules. You got till the beginning of next month. So anyway, that's all I got. I got to finish doing some prep work so we can get the MBX7 out there. Then we're going to brap the buggy, and then we're going to brap the truggy on steroids. And then also we are going to rock the Techno. Techno's last in line since the Techno just before this one went already. So anyway, that's what I got going on. Other than that, if you're going to rock some of the Badlands, don't wait on them, man. Get them. Another quick note, Nova Rossi 9886 Super Strong. I heard somebody on somebody's channel say it was discontinued because A-Main doesn't carry it, which they don't. It's not discontinued. You can get tons of them through Nova Rossi Direct and Absolute Hobbies. Look them up. They have them as well. Again, if you want to get some real fuel, some next level fuel, okay, get the Byron's 3011 Force RC. They've got a ton of it. Cheap, to your doorstep, less than 3 days. Alright people, that's all I got. Remember, when you're not running your shit, check your piston, make sure it's bottom dead center and you got some Muggy juice in it. Alright people, peace, I'm out.